AHDB Strategic Farms are about putting research into practice. Rob Fox is the Strategic Farm West host here at Squad Pool Farm in Leamington Spa.
Yeah, really looking forward now to the trials we've got going, looking forward to Harvest 21. We've managed to get all the trials drilled this year, which we're one up on last year already. This is the start of year 3, so this is the third crop, although we've got a little bit of data from a failed oilseed rape crop as well, so technically 4th, but it's the start of the 3rd year in this crop, and we're already starting to see some differences in the treatments with establishment this year. The weather in 2020 had a huge effect on this trial last year. It originally went into oilseed rape, but due to very dry weather at drilling and then flea beetle pressure and then very wet weather from the middle of September, we took the decision to take that oilseed rape crop out. Some of the plots had established. Interestingly, it showed up a few small results, such as the direct drilled and the shallow mint hill plots actually established quite well. But unfortunately the rest of the field didn't, and with the flea beetle pressure we took the decision to take that oilseed rape crop out. It was re-drilled with a spring bean crop in March, so we did actually manage to get a crop off this, and there are some interesting results within the bean, within the rooting assessments and then the final yield of that bean crop. All the trials that we do on the strategic farms are put through a farm bench. We run them through almost as a separate farm alongside our figures for the rest of our farming business. So each treatment within each trial is assessed completely differently for how much money we're spending on each trial, and to look at the bottom line, to have a look if there's any differences financially with what we're doing.
Changes in soil properties often take several years to become apparent, so this trial is particularly valuable as we are able to monitor how soils change in response to these treatments over the remaining 4 years of the Strategic Farm programme. In 2021 we will be doing this in a winter wheat crop, adding in measurements of soil carbon storage to depth. We did, however, see a significant difference in the early rooting of the spring bean crop, with a lower number of roots in the direct drilled treatment, and these roots concentrated more densely in the top few centimetres of soil. We have been unable to draw any conclusive results from the soil assessments we made this year. Earthworm numbers were low across all treatments, but there was an indication that this was more pronounced on the deeply cultivated treatment. Bean yields at harvest were highest on the deep cultivation treatment and lowest on the shallow and direct drill treatments. This could be due to the differences in early rooting we saw in these treatments, particularly given the dry weather we saw in May.
So with all the trials on strategic farms, we're really wanting farmers to look at what we're doing and take some of that home, take some of those results home and apply them to their own businesses. This trial is particularly interesting to me. I want to move the ground less over our farm. I want to do less in front of the drill, disturb the ground less. However, we're on heavier clays. A lot of the cultivations we do in the autumn are an insurance policy against the weather we may or may not get through the winter. And if we get a dry winter, we know that we can reduce the amount of work, the amount we're working the ground. But if we get a wet winter, we also know that if we can move it down to about 6 inches, it's going to get the water away. So for me, this trial is really, really interesting to see where or how much we can cut back on how much we move the ground, and be able to establish a viable crop, and hopefully other farmers will be able to look at what we're doing and get some messages from that as well.